Now, before we get into this entertaining video, we would just like to remind you to like and subscribe.
Yes, please do like and subscribe.
Sunflowers! Well, hello there, everyone. And how are you guys today? Well, I am here because I have to report on some alleged news. It's not alleged. SM has confirmed it. Taeil from NCT. Now, if you guys do not know, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it quite before on these K-pop readings, but NCT back in 2018 specifically, because I remember when all the NCT members came together in NCT for 2018 Black on Black. That was the song that got me into K-pop. And then I learned a little bit of news about what's going on in NCT lately, and I'm a little disheartened. First off, this isn't going to be a reading about these two, but Johnny and Hitchin, both of them were in a scandal, but thankfully it was denied. SM has taken legal actions, but that cannot be said for who I'm reading on today, which is Taeil. He, however, had to leave the group because as SM did more investigation, it seemed like these cases could not be fought legally, and whatever this sex crime is that SM doesn't want to touch or tell us, they're just like, we're sorry, we have to let Taeil go. But this controversy that has stirred up because of him, he's got to go. We can't defend that, whatever that is. So, Taeil, the oldest member, if not the oldest member, he looks like the oldest member. He's basically the leader. So he's like Papa Mama. So he's like, he was like Mother Bear, okay? A Taeil? Anyway, he was just like a little soft, cute book. You just want to cuddle and hug. Taeil? He's so innocent. He is so innocent. No, clearly not. Clearly not. But I'm going to be doing a reading on him today, and we're going to figure out what does the cards really have to say. Because like I just said, I think he's not as innocent as he portrays and looks. Like they say, never judge a book by its cover. And maybe it just could be the role that SM wanted Taeil to fill. Because, I remember it's got to fill a role. And maybe he was supposed to be like the mama of the group or like the papa of the group. And it got everybody together, especially because he's a leader. But he was like a soft leader. I'm not even sure if over the years leadership has changed. I know that was talked in the works, but I really wasn't sure if it changed over or not. And if it did, I can't remember who the new leader is. But all that to be said, NCT has been going through it this year with some crimes. So I'm glad I love K-pop when I did, because my little citizen heart would have been crying right now. But yeah, so we're going to read on Taeil and see what is going on with him and his current energy and what this apparent scandal is that he had to lose his career basically and step down. I mean, also he's 30, but hey, if you can like milk the system and stay in there as long as you want. Especially because NCT is like that rotational group where they just keep adding members graduate. It's a whole spiel. Last I've known, there was 21 members altogether of NCT. And that's what, I think that was right before they added their Japanese line. I stopped NCT. NCT Dream came in. What was his name? Mark. Speaking of Mark, I had done a reading on aespa. Karina. I wasn't a reading on Karina, but it was a reading on aespa. Not that I did a reading on Mark, but there was apparently dating rumors that Mark from NCT was dating aespa's Karina. all I would just like to say is there are apparent scandals surrounding NCT. I don't know what is going on. Like, who is trying to take y'all down? You got too many people to be trying to take down. So let's just focus and just figure out Taeil and his energy and what this sex crime scandal could be. Unspecified, they said. Let's just find out. And I picked this card. Sometimes I may pick this card, or sometimes I may pick the main male. But I figured this just showed his energy best, or at least how I saw him, as somebody who's like a gentleman, somebody that maybe, yeah, a little sensual, you know, a little romantic, yeah, but nothing like overly overt sexual. So like, that's why I'm like, for this to come out, I'm like, Taeil, I'm like, did you have your way with somebody? Like, what's going on? So with that being said, you know, I had to come here and do this. As soon as I heard the news today, I was just like, I have got to read on NCT. I'm just like, if I haven't read on them before, this is a great time to read on them now. So with that being said, let us figure out what's going on with Taeil and this. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh my. Okay, let me get serious for a second, because literally these cards describe his current energy, and I shouldn't be like amazed, but just the fact that these cards like just describe everything. Like, as soon as I see this, I'm just like, yeah, this is exactly what he's going through. So let me break it down and read it for you guys. So first off, we have Taeil right here, and the first card to come out was the Sun card. Now, we all know that Taeil cannot be sunny right now because he just left NCT. He can't be happy about that, especially over a scandal that made him lose his career, and that's probably going to taint him too in the career. Maybe, you know, blackballed. I'm not sure how they call it in Korea, but yeah, it's not looking good for Taeil, and it's really starting to sound sus and like he may be guilty of doing whatever these crimes are, because SM could not defend him or deny it, and they did some search and research. Yikes. But this sun symbolizes exposure. Literally, everything full blast. What, like they say, what you do in the dark comes to the light, and the sun is that light, and it is shining down on Taeil right now. Whatever he has done, it has been exposed. Yikes. I'm still in a little denial. I refuse, well, I won't say I refuse to believe it because I don't know them, but just, you know, when the actions don't match the image, it's just like, no. And then it's like, I got SM here saying, just to compare it to just how 2 months ago, two members went through a similar thing, and SM was able to come out and deny that and actually take legal action. But then here they go, they're just like, yeah, we can't take legal action on this one. I'm just like, oh my God, it's true. But all that to be said, like I said, what you do in the dark comes to the light. He was being a sneaky fox. He was on the DL. He was on the down low doing mischievous things, I will say. And because of that, it has caught up to him. It is now being exposed. I'm not sure who, why, and when this happened, or with who it happened. But one thing I know for sure is it definitely... if I'm trying to figure out, was this online, was this in person? Because with all the promotion that they do, and I'm not sure if he's in multiple different groups or if he's just in one specific subgroup of NCT, but just that altogether. I mean, sometimes he's on you, but sometimes just to think that all of this, I'm just like, how could he have the time to get into some type of scandal? It's just... How does this happen? We're going to find out how this happens. Be patient with baby Crone, because Baby Crone is here. I'm reading this for you guys, but for me, because I really love NCT. So I want to figure out what's going on with Taeil and why this had happened. And right off the bat, it said he's being exposed because he needs to be exposed because he was definitely doing something underhanded and sneakily, if that's even a word. But don't worry, we got more to talk about. What he's looking at right now is a false person. Now, this was in his past. And in the past, now I say this is his past, but the way the cards are laid out, it's like the past future. So like what's happened in his past and how it's impacting him at this very moment. And what's happening in this very moment is going to therefore determine how he's going to act in the future, if you understand, chain of events. So because of that, this false person, he's looking at this false person. Maybe he knew whoever this person was. Maybe this could be himself. We'll figure out that one. But Taeil, he's looking at this false person, this negative energy, this person that should not be trusted. Either he knows that this person can't be trusted, or he went in maybe blind and didn't care. It was just like, you know what, maybe nobody will find out, right? Well, you know what, maybe we could just do this little thing underneath, you know, shoo, maybe one done, who knows? I'm not sure how it went. Maybe do it a couple times, you know, keep it on the DL. It's between us, you know, our little thing, wink, wink, right? So that's what it could be. And for that, he himself could have not openly been acknowledging that he himself was the false person and doing these things, knowing that he shouldn't. Or maybe he didn't know that this person he was with was a false person that's going to be tricking him, deceiving him, not having his best heart, out to basically ruin his career, anything to bring him down is this false person. And he's looking directly at this false person. So either he has, sorry guys, either he is going to confront this, well, I mean, he has to confront this person now, but like in the past, maybe he confronted this person and knew and still proceeded, and that's why we're having this scandal happen. Or he didn't know, and he still, maybe he had an inkling, like, you know, little something, you know, scratching at your brain, like, I think, but I don't know, I need some confirmation. And so maybe he felt that way, but he still proceeded forward, you know, just to maybe just give it a try. Who knows? I'm not sure. But because of that, now we see literally if that false person is him or if it's somebody he knew. Because what do we have? What he doesn't acknowledge, which is technically in his future, is a double mask. But his future really is his right now, because unless his mask will be exposed in the next coming months, and this is like the rolling stone to collect the moss to turn into like a whole big boulder and like hit us with all this information. But basically he's so focused on this false person energy, this deceptiveness, this lying, this sneakiness. How funny that the fox was here. So maybe he really is this false person and he knew he was a false person, so much so that he knew that the persona that he maybe put onto the world was a false person of who he really was, and who he really was a sneaky, sly little fox. And that's why he is a deceptive person. I'll stop saying a false person. We're going to say a deceptive, sly person, because apparently SM had to let him go. And you know, once a company lets you go, whether it's true or not, sometimes they will let you go even if it's not true, because they just don't want that heat. But for them to actually say that they've done the research and they had to make a conclusion to talk to him about this, definitely says that whatever mask he had, he can't continue. Whatever mask he's wearing, he can't continue to wear. Whatever he thought he was getting away with, he's not getting away with. And whoever he thought he was getting away with is not going to get away with. So it's just all around. Maybe, who knows, maybe it could have been wrong decisions made, and because of that, but I'm not sure, because when you put on a mask, you're pretty committed to a facade. Like you actively have to be in a mask. And if it's a two-faced mask, that means you consciously have to be aware, like they used to say, I'm not sure if this is still a language people use, but code switching. Like you talk one way in the work world, but then you talk another way when you're with your friends. You know, we all have these different faces, but maybe some of us may be a little bit more lax in how we put on these faces, or maybe some of us just literally put on a whole act, persona, a phony personality, somebody we're completely not, just so that way we can really hide who we really are. And because of that, that's the energy I'm getting from Taeil. So all that to be said, now that we know what's going on in his, I try to say this every video. Now that we know what's going on in his bubble or his inner circle, now we're going to see what's going on in his bubble, which is what he allows in his immediate, well, in his area or in his circle, clique. You know, once you say you're like out of bounds, you're out of bounds. So he has a boundary for how far he will allow things to go and come into his energy field, basically. And those are what this outer corner is. Like in his immediate corner, whoever this false person was or whoever this was, he definitely let them in way too close, more than he needed to. They were in his bubble. And what I see in his bubble is a privileged lady. Now, obviously, this doesn't match this particular, because in this deck they have male and female cards that are come together as sets, as pairs, and this privileged lady is not the pair, not the match for this card. But what this does symbolize is the fact that there is a female within his energy field that he's not quite dealing with, but still deals with. You know, you may not see them like every day, but like maybe once a week, you know, kind of like that. So, you know, y'all close, but you're not close. Like, you know, they're just like you got like your acquaintance, which is outside your bubble. And then you have I will say your friends, which is your bubble. And then what I will call inside the bubble would be your friends, and then inside your bubble or your inner circle is like your best friend. So it's like best friends is your inner circle, your bubble, and then your bubble, which is how much you allow within your area and where you consider an out of bounds, is your friends, and then outside of the bounds is your acquaintances. You know, you gotta let those people into the bubble, and then they make their way to the bubble. And and all that to be said, that this privileged lady, whoever this female is, she definitely is of substance, definitely somebody worth the while, you know, all of that. So because of that, it's somebody that he was attracted to, somebody that is on an equal playing field with him. Hopefully it's somebody within his same age range. They say that this is supposed to match the age group, but you know, it's a whole new world out here. People just aren't really caring about age this day, and it's a sex crime, and they're refusing to talk about how unspecified the situation is. So it's just really left up to interpretation at this point. We all just know that Taeil did something naughty with somebody. We don't even know the gender of this person, but I'm just going to assume he is straight, and I'm just going to assume he's attracted to females, especially because the only other card in here is the false person, which the female's front and center. I didn't make the cards, and you see the male in the very back, but that could also mean that together, him and this privileged lady, I'm just going to say that this woman is not. It's not like a real influence. Actually, I think it's an influence. We'll break it down once I put the bubble and bubble together. But just checking out the outer skirts, right around your boundaries. We have you remember how I said he was like mama bear, polar bear, snuggly, cuddly. but also polar bears live in cold climates. So that also shows you he could have more of a colder disposition than he displays to the public. And maybe that's just because he's in the public eye and he's in a group and he has, I mean, I've seen a few pictures where when he's not smiling, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if he was just upset or had something on his mind that day, but he definitely looked like they say, a resting itch face. He really did. I will put that picture up. No, I'm not even trying to hate here. Listen, I love NCT, but I will point out everything and try to piece this together for you guys and myself, because this just came out the woodworks and I just cannot believe it. But these cards are just making it make sense. I'm just like, okay, yep, that's what it is. It was a false personality. Who it was the image his company told him to put on. And who knows? Maybe the career was getting too much for him. I don't know. Who knows? Who honestly knows? But also, he was like 30, so he really could have left the group if he really wanted to. But I get it. It's money. The group thriving and stuff. I'm not even sure if he does acting, so I'm not sure if he has any other avenues he could do once he steps out of the K-pop industry. So I get it. Like they say, don't fix what's not broke. So all that to be said, that's the energy he gave. But he also can invoke jealousy in others. Why? I don't know. Maybe it could have been, maybe just like I said, I was going to say, it could be because of this mask that he puts on. And that brought me back to, oh, right, the false person is literally right under here. That false persona, because that was all in the same line. So therefore, they all have to like relate to each other. And basically, the mask and the false person are one and the same. That just means he was doing something sneakily. And SM definitely said, we cannot deny this. We cannot take legal action against this because you look guilty. But for some reason, who knows? Maybe this privileged woman, I don't want to say she was jealous of him. Why was she? Why whoever this person that's coming out to do this or speak of these rumors? I'm not sure if it is a female that has came out, but who knows? Maybe it could be like a scorned ex-secret lover. Who knows what she could be, who she could be, or what she could be, or if she is a she. Hey, love is love, okay? I ain't gonna judge. So, because of that, we have somebody igniting jealousy in others. Maybe because of his success and his status. But little did those people that were jealous of him realize that they were jealous of somebody's fakery. Well, let's put it that way. People were jealous of the fakery. So even the people, these polar bears, are the audience that whoever's, I don't want to say is jealous, but, and I don't even want to say envious either, but the best way I can say it is, maybe like, hey, this might not be it, but it's just as close I can get, is like hate watching and hate commenting and like hate going to events just to hate kind of thing. No reason. Maybe you just don't like how he looks and you're just like, I want to hate on everything he does. Or maybe he just like looked at your face wrong way and you're just like, I don't like that person, I'm going to hate on him. It literally could just be that. But whatever it is, I think whatever it is, I think it has to deal with his entire persona and who he portrayed himself to be in the media, because that's the only thing somebody could be jealous of, because we have no idea who this person is that was just recently divulged to us. So because of that, I don't know. They won't give us details, but it's so vague and it's so mysterious, and they just dropped him like a hot tamale that I'm just like, how serious is this? But all that to be said, definitely would not be jealous of that image of him or that mask he put on. So because of that, like I said, he had a good image. He had a very good image in the media, at least to me. I'm not sure how y'all feel. I mean, I know I got a little taste. I mean, y'all y'all may agree, may not all completely agree, but we all know that at least one thing, Taeil was the sweet member of the group. So to see something like this, see him get into a scandal, is amazing. Is mind-blowing. Did not think he was capable of that, actually. So because of that, it's just like, wow. And that brings me down to the very end of my reading, which leads us to the last two cards, which is this contract and the coffin card. But we'll come back to this coffin card for a second. But on a diagonal, like I was talking about this privileged lady earlier and how she has some form of influence on him. And whatever influence that was, it's definitely has made him lose his contracts. So that's what, if I was too busy and excited about this reading to point that out earlier when I mentioned this privileged lady, the reason why I said she had some, whoever it is, and I will presume it is a woman, because the way she comes out in this reading, she has a direct influence on Taeil, and Taeil, therefore, his outcome or what he was influenced or what came out as that, as a result, causation, right? Cause and effect. Somebody comes into your life, something happens or something. Well, something's always going to happen. It's just going to be good or bad. But apparently, whoever this woman is, it did not turn out to be good to have her in his circle. Because of that, this woman was very much, I guess, involved. I'm not too sure to what extent they are involved, if it was a one thing, if it was an ongoing thing, but whatever it is, or maybe it was just like one thing that happened at like a restaurant, or maybe at a club, or maybe he went to somewhere where he shouldn't have went. It's, I can't think of Burning Sun, who knows? But all that to be said, that this person, this female, this privileged lady, has some form of influence on him. And we can see by this reading that nothing has really came out of this, because we have a false person, we have a mask. The sun is supposed to be positive, but it's not. It's actually being exposing, which is actually, in retrospect, it is a positive thing, because like they said, you can't get away with anything. So therefore, if he can't be authentically himself and who he is, then that's got to get exposed. And for that was a positive thing. Now, it might not be positive for him, because whatever dirty deeds he did in the dark is now soon going to be coming to light. And who knows, the public is definitely going to be judging him hard depending on the severity of it. So that's why SM said, this contract has got to go. Sorry. That's all I'm saying. I hope more details come out about this. But what I see in this very end, to also reiterate, just to make sure I try to read some of the cards in sections, but they all pretty much summarized what I was expecting to see, and it just confirmed that no, it really is true. I didn't want to believe it. I still cringe just saying it's true, because I'm just like, until there is facts of, SM came out and said they were denying it, that they weren't going to deny it, they were just going to let him go. But I'm going to wait. If there's going to be a trial, if there's going to be a case, then I'll say, okay, he may have just done it, because it got taken to court. And when something gets taken to court, I'll say 7 times out of 10, it has some legs. It's got something. So because of that, whatever he did, whoever he did, and whatever they did together, they just ruined his career, basically. And maybe even his public image even. I hope it was worth it. I hope you actually enjoyed and loved the moment you had with this person, whatever y'all had. Hopefully it wasn't nothing. I have no idea what it is. I hope it was, well, I couldn't have been positive if this person's coming out. So I can't say he loved it. Maybe he loved it and she didn't. Who knows what happened? They just got the ball rolling in my head. It's just like, what? I'm like, the fact that you didn't guys want to specify this, like, who are you protecting here? I'm a nosy fan now. I'm invested. What is this crime? Like, tell me so I can get a good look of who Taeil really is, because clearly I didn't and we didn't know who he was. And he kept that good under wraps. And because of that, like they say, sometimes your reign just comes to an end. And maybe he can learn from this. Maybe whatever situation this was, maybe he learned from it. Or maybe he'll learn to be more careful of who he lets in his circle or do mischievous things with, or do mischievous things at all. But this is definitely an ending. He's left NCT. Hopefully he has ended. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm acting like this is a scorned lover talking about, like, coming out saying he did this, he did that to me. But no, literally, if it's a crime, then that means it was like it could have been like an assault, could have been harassment, could have been physicality, like literally, like I just don't know. I just don't know, but whatever it is, it has definitely put a halt to his career. Maybe even his image. And we're just going to have to see the results for that one. Let's see what the bottom of the deck is. Oh, the clouds. Well, usually I say the clouds is... I want to say the clouds are going to move on in the future. I sure hope so. Or maybe this is just going to get so cloudy and murky. I'm not sure. It's so up in the air. So many things are going to come out. I'm literally recording this the day the news broke. So because of that, it's so fresh in the air. No details have been exposed. But all that to be said, whatever it is, the sun does look like it's shining, but there is some clouds, there's some darkness. Maybe there is some hope at the end of the rainbow, because it's not completely cloudy. The sun is still shining. Even though it's trying to expose him, it's still going to be shining on him. And in that sense, peeking through all the darkness, maybe he'll get some enlightenment, have that aha moment. Like I said, take it as a lesson moving forward, what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. I'm not sure what he's going to do about his career now, like what's going to become of Taeil? Like, literally, please somebody tell me that, because I don't know, is he going to go into acting now? I've never seen him act. I'm not even sure if he's acted before. Maybe that's what he's going through, trying to figure out how he's going to navigate this dark stain on his image, on his persona. Like, it's funny how everything is a little bit two-faced. Maybe he's going to try to come through this, push through it, but, it could be like a stain, a way people look at him now, even if it does come out and it does get to like some trial, depending on how serious this really is. And we'll see, the story is still unfolding, but if it does get that serious, it does definitely say that he may have some dark days ahead of him, but that's okay, right? He will be able to come through, push through, shine through. It's just going to be like, people are just going to see him a different way. His image has been tainted a little bit. That's all I'm going to say. So because of that, he's got to work through that. And who knows how long he's been keeping up this persona. Maybe it's something he developed throughout the years and not in his trainee years, or was born like this. Maybe this had happened. Maybe he did something, like I said, made the wrong decision, let the wrong person in. We all make mistakes here, but I'm not going to. It is a crime, and it is a sex crime. So because of that, I'm not going to say that the victim is not validated in this situation, because whatever happened, it sounds like he was in the wrong. I mean, some people lie and stuff like that, but if SM couldn't deny it, that speaks volumes. especially when just 2 months prior, they was able to deny some other sex allegations that the members went through. So if they can't deny it now 2 months later on somebody else, that means he's guilty. And I will stand by that. Even though I say he's guilty, I refuse to believe it because I'm just like, clearly, for this to happen somewhere, somehow, he must have been guilty somewhere for SM to let him go. If SM didn't let him go and it was just like a scandal that they were dealing with, I wouldn't side-eye it so much, but he literally lost his career over this. So it's pretty serious, but I just don't know how serious or how much it's going to affect him because this is literally hot off the press. I just had to share it with you guys. Well, I hope I didn't hold you guys up here too long talking too much about Taeil and how I feel about him and also about these cards and how these cards helped me. And hopefully they helped you because I'm an citizen just like you guys. And if you guys aren't, please, I hope you guys know who NCT is and you're just watching just because you like K-pop. But with all that being said, I'm a very passionate citizen. So because of that, I just don't follow them religiously like I used to, especially since I've left K-pop since 2022. But I will always love NCT. NCT will always forever have a place in my heart. And like they say, they are the top on my stan list. Nobody can outstand NCT. So with that being said, well, maybe Blackpink. But with all that being said, maybe yes. But all that to be, no. NCT just has a special place in my heart because they got me into K-pop and they made me, and there were so many of them, honestly. I was kind of overwhelmed and then they just added more and I'm just like, wow, y'all are doing the most. So with that being said, I hope you like this reading. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It will help the channel. And that being said, leave a comment if there's anybody you would like me to read on. And sunflowers.